Alright, everyone. I am enjoying this game. It is Manufactoria 2022, and I just finished the third section, which is the home division. And we got into some tricky levels this time. We just had one where you had to accept robots if they had 3 blue or 3 red in a row, which added an extra wrinkle. And managed to finish that one, and looks like we have a 4th section coming up here. And I don't know if we have this whole thing will get filled up. If so, it's going to be a pretty long game, and I'm looking forward to it. So, welcome to episode 3, and I'm just going to keep rolling here. Okay, let's see. For a move into health and fitness, the candidate picker chose Duncan, our first product designer. Duncan could tell everyone how to improve their body, even himself, especially himself. Could we design robots people would trust with their health? If anyone could make it happen, Duncan and I could. Also, I want to point out this salesman guy, I forget his name, Marcus. I mean, our candidate picker picked him, and he seems to be selling a lot of stuff, so, I think we're building pretty good robots here. Let's see. Oh, this one just isn't connected to anything. Is it just a challenge? Okay, maybe let's do the other 2 first, and then we'll see if we want to try that one. Let's see, in this age, many people need to go to the gym and stay healthy. But not everyone has a gym buddy to hold a towel and spot them on the weights. Duncan argued, why should an enormously complex piece of metal and circuitry do that for them? Yeah, I mean, you got giant crane arms. What else are they for if not holding weights? And maybe towels. Cool. Let's see. So, modify each robot's tape by moving the first command to the end. Produce empty robots as it. Okay, this is a simple one because they had this in the original Flash game, or at least this was something you need to learn at some point. So, I'm just going to write it real quick, and then you'll see what it means. And yeah, this will work. So I'll just show you a test. So let's say you have blue and a bunch of reds. So you can see the goal here on the bottom is to move the first thing to the end. So when we run the test, you see it first reads the blue, and that moves off the tape, and then it puts the new blue on the end. So this is just sort of a tutorial to teach you that you can cycle like that. So this, I think, should just be pretty easy. Cool. Per Duncan, the heart and soul of our design was identifying with the user. Spotterbot's users were lonely, dissatisfied with their lives, and loved technology. Most of our customers were actually, surprise, surprise. Duncan said that made his job very easy. Cool. And interesting. Robots enter with 0 to 9 reds and blues on their tape. Huh. Okay. 9 would be 512, but 1,024 tests. Maybe I have an off by 1 error in my thinking, because 2 to the 9 is 5, 10, or 12, but I thought there were more tests than that. Anyway, let's see. So, we did that one, got a bunch of achievements for it. Alright, the examiner. I can argue that the medical checkup market was long overdue for disruption. How many times have you been disappointed to go to the doctor, get poked and prodded, and go home with an earful of wishy-washy maybes? You could build a robot that found serious health problems every time, sometimes in organs you didn't even know you had. Okay? The robots that enter with a drunk beginning and ending with the same command. Drunk the rest. Okay, so that should be fairly simple. So if it starts with blue, it needs to end with blue. So we've gotten to this point. And we can say, well, how would you check if it ends with blue? So let's just give ourselves some space here. So we obviously need to do another filter. So if this is blue, if it's the end, that's fine. If it's blue again, I think we can just, we know blue is the previous one. If it's red, it hasn't ended. Yeah, we just need to know if it's the end at this point. And if it's red, it's like, okay, blue's not the last thing you've seen. So I think this should work, and we can do the same thing on the other side. So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, if it's blue and then red, well, let's tell you what. So let's say no. So if it's blue, then a couple reds, then a blue. So this starts and ends with blue. So when I run this, we start off, we say, okay, it started with blue. So now we're just trying to figure out if it ends with blue. And, oops, that's not what I wanted. Right, so if it's blue, red, red, blue, starts with blue, we're trying to see if it ends with blue. We say, okay, we saw red, that hasn't ended with blue. Here we say, oh, I wanted to pause it, sorry. So once we see a blue, we say, blue's the last thing I saw. So if we're at the end, we're good. And sure enough, yep. And similarly, if we do like blue, blue, yeah, I just want to show you some, like the other path here. So blue started, and we see a blue, so we say, okay, blue's the last thing I've seen, but I'm not sure if I'm done yet. We see another blue, and we go back to the same spot of blue's the last thing I've seen. We see a red, and we go, okay, well, blue's no longer the last thing I've seen. So we're not good if we're done. See another red, we're still at the blue's not the last thing I've seen. And we go here. Oh. What happens if it's only blue? That's an edge case that I hadn't really thought about. Yeah, because that starts and ends with the same thing. Yeah, this is gonna be inefficient again, but I think I can just move this down, just to say. Yeah. So this is just, if it's only blue, we need to accept it, and otherwise we can move on to the rest. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side for red. I'm just going to give myself some space here. And I think this should work. It's going to be super inefficient. And we'll just mirror it. So this is red. So if it's only red, it starts and ends. If it's red, another red, good. But if it's red, and there's a blue, it should drop into the fire. Let's see if that works. Oh. If there's nothing, does it start and end with the same thing? Alright. So we're supposed to put that in a fire. So I went to the test to check that, so if there's nothing in there, it says the goal is fine. I mean, does nothing start and end with the same thing? Start with the same command? Arguably, they aren't different. Are they the same? I don't know. I mean, there's no value there for either of them. I think it's ambiguous, but it wants us to fail it. So let's see. Cool. After the examiner diagnosed me with dysentery, longmouth, and infantile rhizola, I suggested Duncan we might want to work on its accuracy a lot more. He said it would be a waste of time. We'd be done with all these pesky human frailties soon enough, so why over-optimize? What? Yeah. Not entirely sure what these robots are optimizing for, but a little concerning. Alright, well, we can easily save a little bit of space here, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. It's not a ton, but you know, it does something. And if you see any obvious things, good enough. I'm gonna call that good enough. I will go back, I think, at the end after I've learned a lot more and optimize from there. Maybe. We'll see if I feel like it. I'm not like... Depends on the game. Sometimes I like to 100% the game, sometimes I don't. We'll see how I'm feeling, but I'm enjoying the game. 38% of hospital deaths were caused by human error, a third leading cause of death in the country. Duncan explained passionately. Overworked doctors, surgeons, and nurses, sleep-deprived, making sloppy errors, and using the wrong drugs. But why should humans be responsible for taking drugs at all? Why not leave it to a robot? So this hits a little close to me because I used to be a software engineer for a company that made electronic medical record stuff. So if you've been to the doctor's office and like they enter your information into a computer, that's it. And I do remember them talking about that, like getting patient barcodes and having carts where you had to actually scan the patient's barcode in order for it to like release the medication from the cart drastically drops medication errors. Just because something is important doesn't mean that people don't make mistakes, and it's not because they're not trying, it's just that like everybody makes mistakes at everything sometimes, and when it's this important, the correct solution is to find a way that it's harder to make the mistakes and easier to do things properly. So yeah, like a lot of these things are jokes, but this one is actually very serious and is a good idea a lot of times. Like, use technology. Don't assume people are going to get things right, because like they try hard, most of the time they do, but when it's important, they don't get it wrong ever. You need to do something other than just hoping that they don't get it wrong. Turn every pair of blues into a red before producing. Leave any excess blue at the end? Okay, I want to see a test here. So if I do 3 blues... Oh, this is only blues. Okay. Okay, I was wondering, like, what if you have several blues then a red, but you only get blues as the input? Okay. So, robot is blue. Obviously we're gonna need to check for blue. And then we don't have to worry about the reds. But can I just say... I do have to turn it into a red. So if this is all blues, I have a red. And then, so I'm trying to think through, like, if I get 2 blues, I'll see a red. And once I see a red there, that means I've had an even number of reds, or an even number of blues that have all been turned into red, but then I'll be 1 short, so I need another red. And then I think that one's good. And then, if there's nothing, I can just drop it in here. If there's an odd number of blues, let's say there's 3 blues, I'll turn 2 blues into a red, I'll read a blue, or read a red. So I need a red and a blue? Red and a blue. And then if there's only a single blue, we need to add it at the end. So we'll just need to replace it. Okay, so let's see. So if I have, okay, so if I have 3 blues, so we read the first 2 and replace it with a red. That's good. We read the third blue. Actually, let's start with evens. So if we just have 2 blues, so we read the 2 blues, we replace it with a red, and then we see, oh, we had a red, which lets me know that I've gone through the whole tape. But now I'm 1 red short, so I add a red, and we're good. And then it's even more clear if you have 4, because you go around twice. And then at that point, I'm at the 2 reds I need, but I don't know I'm done yet. So then I read 1 and write it again, and back to 2. Alright, so then if I'm at 3, I need 3, 2. Alright, so the first 2 blues become a red. Then I read a third blue, I read a red, and then I'm down a red and I need to add the blue on my back. Okay. And again, yeah, and that should be even more clear with 5. So I've turned 4 of the blues into 2 reds. I read a blue, I read a red. I know I'm done, but I need to add a red and blue onto the back. And then this is just if I have nothing, and this is if I have 1 blue, or this path and this path. So, should be good. Success! Duncan seemed a bit tired himself. When I asked, he explained he was midway through switching from a biphasic sleep schedule to an advanced polyphasic mode, giving him an extra hour of waking time every day. Duncan offered to send me his routine. I confessed I preferred more than 4 uninterrupted hours of sleep a night. Yeah, you know, getting a lot of sleep is good. You know, you can, I mean, your average amount of sleep in a day, you can try to change it, but like, what's your average amount of sleep? And then, depending on who you are, you need a certain minimum, and you can't like go below that minimum, I think, just by like rescheduling it. I've heard people try to do that. Not many seriously, but you hear these stories sometimes. I don't think it's very common. Let's see. Many people fear dentists, always poking around in their mouths with sharp tools. Duncan had the solution. A mechanical arm could do the same job twice as fast, and no one could be afraid of one that had a smiley face on top. Oh my god. Yeah. Just opening your mouth and having a... I'm just imagining one of those, like, car assembly cranes, like, doing detency work. Jeez. Junk all robots that repeat adjacent commands. That sounds simple. So you do this. You have a blue. If you have another blue, you throw it on fire if it's red. No, you can't just bring it back. Can I rotate this? So it starts with blue. If it's red, there's another blue. Then it goes in the fire. If it's red, then if I see another red, I'm going to want to put it in a fire. And this will just ensure they keep alternating, right? Otherwise, they can finish. I want the same thing on the other side. So if it's red, can't have another red. And yeah, it's just gonna be mirrored. So my initial concern was, like, the reason you can't just do like this to start, I'll show you. So if you just do this to start, it looks like it's the same idea as these ones. But if you get like, well, so this was the idea that, you know, oh, if it's blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, it just alternates back and forth until you're done. And that looks great, except that if you do something like blue, red, red, blue, then sure, you do the blue, red, and it goes back and forth here, but then it does the red and blue on the other side, and it doesn't realize that it's done two consecutive ones in a row, and that's why it needs to get split into these two sides, I think. So that was the idea there. So we'll put those back. These can get deleted. And I guess I don't really need that. I can move this. That's probably fine. I guess, yeah, gotta remember the empty case. Nice. Duncan had a personal interest in this project. He was planning to swap out all of his teeth with ceramic polymer substitutes just as soon as the tech was ready. He'd never been satisfied with his body, Duncan explained. The sooner he could replace it, the better. Oh boy. Are there any obvious ways to make this better? Not that I see. I could like make this a conveyor belt instead of an exit, but I don't see why I'd want to do that. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Let's see, what are these again? Area, number of scanners and stampers. I guess apparently you can do this with fewer scanners. Alright, I don't want to worry about that right now. I'm gonna move on. Bit sister. The people who need workout robots the most are those who do the least working out, Duncan. When you're just starting out, doing a pull-up, push-up, or handstand can seem impossible, but nothing is impossible with the assistance of an advanced robot arm. Remove the first two commands from the front of the tape, reverse them, and put them at the back of the tape. Okay, so I think this is basically a tutorial again. We do blue, red. Okay, and we can see here all commands have at least 2. So if it's blue, then we need what we just read. And we know it's not going to go this way because it has at least 2 commands. And we were on the blue side. So we just need to add another blue, and then we can drop it in here. And I think we can just mirror that on the other side. Alright, so we know there's at least 2 commands, so you don't have to worry about what's here. We're not rejecting anything. We also know that, like, we can't go have a robot go from here to here, because that would be on its... That would be if the tape only had 1 color on it. So, we know on the blue side, see another blue, we need to reverse the 2 of them, which is just putting 2 blues on the back. And if it's a red, we need to put a red, then a blue. And it's the same here. If we see 2 reds, we put 2 reds on the back. If we see a red, then a blue, we have to do a blue, then a red. Cool. Seems simple. Nice. Duncan approached the Fit Sister with an unusual urgency. This is the only time we could sell it, he said. Soon enough, advanced muscle growth stimulators would render the exercise obsolete. Then who'd buy this? Let's see. Just to give you some examples, like if you had blue, red, and then like a bunch of blues. So it reads the blue, reads the red, then does red and blue. So all the other routes are basically the same as that. You know, just reversing the 2 that you saw. Alright, that was body division. Yeah, it seems like a good spot to end it. So, I don't know if these really are one section for Jerry Athlon. Looks like we might have a dozen? Maybe more. Anyway, pretty good so far. Making a good clip, and we can always come back and do these challenges later. Yeah, that one was not super bad. Alright. Thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.